Yeah, Supergirl now faces feminist backlash over Millie Alcock comments, guys. This is so interesting. This is so
Indeed.
interesting because it seems like the movie is attacked from all sides by all different kinds of outlets and fans. It's criticized for a number of things, but the interesting part here is that Grace Randolph, who maybe you heard of,
Yeah.
she's one of the oldest movie reviews channels on YouTube, literally. She is usually a leftist
Yeah.
who loves to defend a lot of feminist bullcrap, but she is also a comic book fan that is not always very good with her facts. Sometimes she says crazy things.
She's really not. Yeah.
She's mistaken the facts. She says crazy things about the box office that are true or not true. She is all over the place. So she's famous with her crazy takes. But this time, guys, she's correct.
Imagine that.
Yes, she is correct. Sometimes she says very accurate things because because I don't know, she has some kind of a um, you know, blink moment of
Some kind
clarity.
of epiphany or something like
Yes.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. And I do watch Grace for maybe 12 years or 13 years. I'm not sure. I have been watching her for the very beginning, sometimes 2 or 3 videos a day, and I just put her streams on to just run in the background sometimes. So I'm so familiar with her that I know her psychologically by this point. So to me, this is actually not that much of a surprise, but she did. What is a surprise is that she did called out Millie Alcock quite a bit and not a little bit. That's the interesting part. So we're gonna read the most. I mean, we're gonna have to read most of it because it's pretty specific. So Tsunami, I'll give it to you now.
All right, from Cosmic Book News. Supergirl now faces feminist backlash over Millie Alcock comments.
Mm-mm.
Supergirl is now facing a new round of backlash over Millie Alcock's comments, this time from the feminist side of the conversation. Following the controversy over Millie Alcock's Variety interview, YouTuber Grace Randolph sounded off on the Supergirl star's comments, the marketing, the costume talk, the lack of research, and the direction of the movie. Randolph, who has often supported female led comic book movies, made it clear she was not impressed. Quote, I couldn't believe this. If I were a publicist, I'd be like, stop talking for the love of God, she said about Alcock's comments.
This is epic, yes.
Grace Randolph says the interview was bad. Randolph reacted to Alcock's Variety interview and said the comments were, quote, not good, calling the interview rough. She compared the situation to Rachel Zegler, pointing out how many interviews Zegler gave that ended up hurting Disney's Snow White before release. Randolph said that by now, studios and stars should know there are certain things you don't say when promoting a major franchise movie. She also brought up The Marvels, which leaned hard into girl power marketing over bombing at the box office. Her point was simple: turning a superhero movie into a lecture or a messaging campaign can backfire fast.
Oh boy. Okay,
Randolph,
stop here. I have something to add. So, in the past, Grace did called out many other things for similar reasons. So she's actually aware that when you pander too much, when the message is too heavy, audiences walking. Yeah, they're walking away.
That is not helping basically the
Yeah,
need
so
of
she's
the movie.
actually absolutely against that, which is very interesting. And she has been consistent with this opinion for quite a while now, because again,
Yeah.
I'm there every day, so I know. So this is pretty cool. And also, the funny thing is that the right side of the argument also are, pointing out that Millie Alcock is turning into Rachel Zegler basically, and the other thing,
Yeah, we had
the Marvels controversy.
comment on one of the videos. Someone said, "I watch it, but I hope that Millie Alcock is not going to pull a Brie Larson on us." And I said, "Too late. She already did Rachel
She
Zegler."
she already also did.
So,
She
I
basically
mean,
did
it's
Brie
even
Larson
worse.
too.
It's even worse. Yeah, she did
Yeah, she
both.
did Brie Larson too, because
Yeah.
she said Christian men and blah
Yeah.
blah blah. Men are totally to blame for this, right? I mean, why am I complaining then? because I'm a long-time Supergirl fan and I
How
don't
dare
want
you.
Supergirl to be portrayed as a messy, drunken, stupid young girl that doesn't know
But
what she's doing.
but Tempest, but it's based off the comic book, which was a deconstruction of comic book, but still,
Oh,
and it's not based even on that. But anyway,
God forbid.
go
Okay.
for it. Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I wanted
Mhm.
to say. Continue.
She compared the situation to Rachel. Oh, okay, got it. Randolph said that by now, studios and stars should know there are certain things you don't say when promoting a major franchise movie. She also brought up The Marvels, which leaned hard into girl power marketing before bombing at the box office. Her point was simple: turning a superhero movie into a lecture or a messaging campaign can backfire fast. Randolph added that all cock should be trying to befriend the audience before villainizing them. All cock not watching Wonder Woman raises concerns.
Oh my God.
One of Randolph's biggest issues was all cock admitting she has not watched Black Widow, Captain Marvel, or Wonder Woman. In the Variety interview, Alcock said she has not seen those female led superhero movies and joked that it was probably not great.
Oh my God.
Randolph said those comments were really bad, arguing Alcock should have done her research before taking on Supergirl.
Yes, 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 yes,
Totally,
yes.
totally.
Stop here. So, uh, how can you be an actress and not go and do your research about how previous heroes, women on the screen were portrayed? I would
Yeah.
watch everything that I could. I would read all the Supergirl comic books. I would do everything in my power to get into character. Now, granted, she's not prompt to do that, so keep in mind they did not ask this of her because James Gunn, the director of this movie, does not give a flying F because they're not actually portraying Supergirl to begin with. So we have to have this in mind. They're not actually doing Supergirl.
Yeah.
They're
That's not
doing a
Supergirl.
twisted version of a deconstruction of the character based on a horrible comic book, and they're not adopting the comic book, one to one. They're
Yeah,
doing their own deconstruction based on this comic book.
exactly.
So she's not actually required to do this by logic, but she still should have. This just proves that there's one side is the studio, which are horrible and they don't care about the property and the character, they don't care about the stories or portraying her correctly. On the other side is Millie Alcock totally agreeing with that and not even showing her own interest that she should have in general. So her attitude is just as retarded and unprofessional as the studio and the director and whoever greenlit this, which is James Gunn.
Yeah.
So basically, they're all. I mean, in conclusion, both sides are completely incompetent and they do not care for the property because if they did, this will never happen. This will never happen. So if this was the Zack Snyder universe, the said actors always will go back and read
Yeah.
whatever it is.
Freaking Ben Affleck has a Batcave in his house.
Wow.
What else to say? I mean, he's such a big Batman fan. He read most of the things. He knows how to portray the character, even though it was still different character, but he got into it by doing the research and everything else. That's how you should do it. It's not required really to read all the comic books, but it's good to say, hey, James, can you find me, like a comic book historian or something to tell me, okay, read for the role, read this, and this. I'm sure that she hasn't even written the stupid Woman of Tomorrow, although she shows herself on a photo with it, but who doesn't do that?
Yeah. So, continue from Grendel said, Alcock should have studied.
Randolph said Alcock should have studied the women who came before her, including Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, to see what worked, what failed, and how those characters connected with audiences. Support your fellow ladies, Randolph said, adding that Alcock should have framed herself as honored to follow in the footsteps of Wonder Woman, Black Widow, and Captain Marvel instead of admitting she had not watched them. Grace Randolph says Supergirl should look fabulous. Randolph also criticized the way Supergirl is being presented. She questioned the first promotional image of Alcock holding the Supergirl comic, wondering if Alcock really read it or if the comic was just being used as a prop.
Yes.
Randolph called that concerning.
Yes.
Do you have more to say?
No. When I just say one word, to just like continue. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know. Like, so. Yeah,
I will be
okay,
much
got it.
louder if you want. If I want you to stop, I will be much louder.
Okay,
don't
yeah.
worry.
So I'm trying to find the tempo here. It's a little weird. She also said the movie is not serving Supergirl well visually. bringing up Daisy Ridley and Kelly Marie Tran from Star Wars as examples of actresses who, in her view, were not always presented the way they should have been. Randolph said Alcock has a full hair and makeup team and should look really fabulous, especially because Supergirl has always looked fabulous in the comics. Ironically, part of the Millie Alcock Supergirl promotion is promoting a makeup brand. She pointed to Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman as the right way to present a female superhero out of the gate. Not wearing the suit becomes a bigger problem. Randolph also said that she was shocked by Alcock revealing she does not wear the Supergirl suit as much as fans might expect. According to Randolph, that makes the movie feel less like a Supergirl movie and less comic book accurate. She said the film risks becoming a girl power movie rather than a Supergirl movie. Randolph also questioned how James Gunn approved that direction, since Gunn has sold himself as the comic book fan guiding the DCU.
Okay, we
In a
can
follow-
we can make a pause. We can make a pause right here because I kind of miss addressing this part here about looking fabulous. So Grace also said, because I did watch that video on that stream, she said that, well, Millie Alcock has a team that does her hair. I don't. And I have to get up every morning, do my own hair, and she's very proud of how she's doing her hair. Sometimes it's a bit all over the place, but that's her style. Okay, the point is,
At least
yes,
she
she
tries.
has the money. That is something that I have been pointing out for years about how actors look like and how they get out of shape for I mean, when they're not in a particular role, and instead of just sustaining themselves, they having a very good physique throughout their career, so they can show people, hey, I am actually using my money well, and I'm respecting myself. I'm presenting myself with class and dignity, and not being not looking like a hobo in the rest of the times that they're not filming.
Yeah.
Which is just very common for a lot of the not all, but a lot of Hollywood people, be that music artists or actors or whatever. So this is one of those things again that she has everything, but James Gunn thinks that this is better for her to look like a mess and whatever. So that's the whole point, that she is destroyed on her screen. That's a character assassination in progression, as you can see here.
Exactly. She is also not wearing the suit. Which,
that's the second point.
Who wants to see that? But again, at the first point, really, they should look fabulous. They're actors and actresses, and you're portraying a superhero. It's even more required now. If really you look at even Captain Marvel with Brie Larson, she looked okay then. That doesn't matter that the character is drunk now and things like that. It still looks okay. Let's take Jessica Jones in the TV show. She was also drinking. Still look good.
Yeah, still look good.
Yeah. So
because she's a superhero and
because
she
it's
doesn't
a
have a
superhero.
metabolism
We are watching a movie, so we should watch fabulous people, not people from everyday life and things like that.
Yeah, from everyday freaking life.
Yeah.
I mean, they're gonna say because she goes to a planet where there's red sun, so she has no power, so all the alcohol will affect her. Right. Why is she going there in the first place? Why do we see the Supergirl in the first place that needs to drink?
In the freaking Woman of Tomorrow comic book, she's actually A, wearing the suit all the time, and B, although drunk and whatever there, that's and things, she still looks okay. I mean, the art is kind of shitty, but she looks like Supergirl.
Yeah, so even that comic book that does not respect the character very much, still respecting her more than this interpretation.
Yeah, at least
which is horrible to think about.
And it's playing the message that it's okay to be a mess. Don't take care of yourself. Just go outside as you wake up. Don't brush your hair. Don't do anything.
Yeah, exactly. So I just love how Grace brought up that Gal Gadot Wonder Woman looks great, especially in the first movie. Her hair was awesome there. Fabulous is the word because it's a superhero. So bravo to Grace.
Exactly.
Now, the second part that we always hated, actually, this is something that we always hated in any superheroes that we watch, superhero movie that we ever watch, is that it's getting, I mean, it's too long until we see the hero in the costume. It's too long. That's one of the things that Superman 2025 did very well, actually. That we already saw Superman being Superman, although he was not super at all, but at least he was in the costume. So that's like maybe the best thing that Superman did, the movie, because he was in costume most of the time.
I'll give them that, yeah. And
that is
granted, because it's not an origin story, like, for example, Man of Steel.
Yeah, of course.
then it's understandable. But this is also not an origin story.
Yeah, she could be wearing the
Yeah,
costume.
could be wearing the costume. Yeah.
But they're trying to make like to create this huge abyss between the super factor and the ordinary factor, and that's
Yeah,
what they're putting
they're
forward instead of the
trying to.
super.
The problem is that they're trying to focus on the identity, the outer ego that is not the superhero. You know, like they're trying to focus on Kara. They're trying to focus on what was it, on Matt Murdock and not Daredevil. That's why he didn't wear his freaking suit in the Born Again thingy for most of the first season and things like that. And I keep saying that I want to see the suit. That's
Don't forget the Walk of Shame.
The what?
The walk of shame.
Oh yeah, we got the Walk of
with
Shame.
Daredevil.
Sure. Oh boy, yeah.
Yeah, another degrading
Who
hit
could forget that? Yeah.
below the belt.
We barely saw also She-Hulk in that show, by the way. Yeah.
We saw a feminist something
Oh boy.
that screams and becomes green because of her freaking feminism, basically.
Basically, that was it. Yeah.
So this is one other thing that's important. Girl power movie rather than super girl movie. Exactly. Even
Exactly,
Grace
yeah.
doesn't want to see that because it degrades the character what she stands for.
I think she kind of, maybe it's again her seeing where the movement is going, but I think she kind of sees that things like that don't help her side.
No, they don't.
Because it really doesn't help. It doesn't help the message they're trying to spread out, and it just doesn't help.
Just
We
getting
have many
worse.
examples for that.
Yeah, just getting a lot worse. And I'm really happy that also Grace, Randolph also questioned how James gonna prove that direction since Gunn has sold himself as comic book fan guiding the DCU, which is not true, as we know before that. I think that people that are not into those things like we are, they don't go back to check what actually happened just before he was announced as the new DCU lead, head of Warner Brothers. Because he did say horrible things, like we always repeat here. Try to keep you guys, try to make sure that you're not forgetting that before that he said horrible things about Superman, about superheroes, how they're lame. He even now said things about Batman that are horrible, that he is boring and whatever. So he was never actually a comic book fan. No comic book fan will say that Superman is lame if they really understand who he is, nor they will say that Batman is boring, nor that superheroes, he doesn't understand them, if they're not cuckoo. Cuckoo, yeah. Something cuckoo,
I mean, if you're a superhero fan, you try to present the characters as they should be. You're not going to do, well, that's my spin on it.
Yeah.
No, present them as they should be.
Okay, we stretched this very far, so tonight we just leave it to me to just check some particular points, and then we're gonna wrap it up and go to the next topic. So box office tracking has Randolph worried, of course, because she's always scared about the box office. She compared Supergirl tracking to the Marvels, which bombed at the box office. She also noted that the estimates are major draw from those for Wonder Woman, Black Widow, and Superman. Yeah, we are going to take a look at the box office in more detail in the next article, so you're not gonna,
I think that kind of, and the studios are not interested at those movies because I remember now. When Superman was out, I barely saw any posters here in the subway stations. And usually we are full of those.
Yeah.
I saw one in the corner before the movie comes out, and they say we hide him there in the corner. It's full, guys. It's full of him and with Masters of the Universe posters now.
Oh.
It's full. They're there. We know that it's coming. Supergirl is nowhere
to be seen.
Just like was Superman, so they're kind of like,
whatever.
It's whatever. It's whatever.
It's literally whatever. Now, another great point. So now it also has to deal with backlash from fans, Christians, and even feminist commentators who should have been part of its natural support base. So that's the point. This movie is attacked from like all sides. Supergirl may be too narrow. That's interesting. Though Randall stated she was bothered by Supergirl not being directed by a woman, which is so stupid. She doesn't need to be directed by a woman.
No, it doesn't.
Freaking hell! I mean, this is so dumb. She was created by a man.
She was created by men. Yeah, I mean, to say the least. Yeah. So.
I mean,
Tom King, who wrote the
Jesus.
freaking comic book Woman of Tomorrow is a man. Although that's debatable, but still,
Basically, a woman.
yeah, basically, as I said, it's
He-
debatable. So,
Yeah. So
Right.
Randolph also said she feels like Supergirl has been written for women in a way that could make the audience smaller. What? Excuse me. She's not written for women. Like, I mean, who super? I can't even think of super girl, superwoman that's written for women. She's just a character
It's a
that's
character. Yeah.
supposed to have qualities that everybody resonates with. The universal appeal of a superhero is, well, universal. That's the
Yeah.
point. It just happens to be a woman.
Just
Just
happens
happens
to
to
be a woman,
be a woman.
Yeah, it was never okay. I mean, maybe some of them were created intentionally. Okay, let's try to bring more girls into comic books and things like that, but that never works out the way that it should. And you know, why not creating character for them all? Wonder Woman was like that. You know, she was created for everybody, not just specifically for women or anything like that. You know, so you could be a man and direct a great movie about a female superhero if you understand the character.
Yeah, of course. Uh, you don't need to be anything
No,
else.
no. I mean, if let's say you're a woman and you're a great He-Man fan, you can direct the movie. I wouldn't mind.
Yeah,
I
of
don't.
course.
It should be a man. If the man doesn't understand the character, the property, the thing, then it's going to
I
be a
mean,
shitty job, like we see.
there are
You know.
plenty of male fans that still have no idea who Superman
Yeah,
is,
yeah.
or Batman,
Oh,
or anybody
we
else.
had a comment from a
Oh
guy
my
who
god.
said that. And sorry, I know he's your favorite, but I think he's boring and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So,
here you go. Here you go.
yeah.
So there's many other things here, guys. But basically, she said something stupid. Randolph said directors like Greta Gerwig on Barbie and Patty Jenkins with Zack Snyder's help on Wonder Woman understood the importance of making those movies appeal to a male audience. You want to tell me that those women are so stupid they don't understand that? Then you are devaluing their competence.
Kind of, yes.
So,
Right?
I
She's
mean,
agreeing with them.
she's agreeing with them.
Agreeing with them.
Said
Yes. She said directors like those two understood the importance of making those movies also appeal to a male audience.
okay.
I thought she actually made like based grace. That's something I wasn't planning on saying in my lifetime, but she made some really like based points during this.
Oh
So
yes,
yeah,
Yeah,
like,
she did,
yeah.
but hold on. So she says that directors like Greta Gerwig on Barbie and Patty Jenkins with Zack Snyder's help on Wonder Woman understood the importance. But yeah, that's what I mean. That Grace is saying that with his help, they understood the importance of making those movies appeal to male audiences. So they cannot understand this importance if it's not for Zack Snyder.
At least Pat
no,
Jenkins.
no. Yeah, he's just talking about Patty Jenkins, and he's giving, or she, I'm sorry, what am I talking about? She is giving credit to the fact that, okay, yeah, Zack Snyder helped also, but that's a Patty Jenkins did that, like, at least she's credited doing it on her own. But the point that she was making, I also watched the interview, and I couldn't believe myself. I was like, oh my God, props to Grace. Yeah, she actually stuck up for the fact that, like, hey, you might be trying to make this whole girl power fucking thing, but you need to fill seats. And part of that's going to include you also getting men to show up to the theater with those girls. So she actually made a really good point during the interview. I think that maybe just the way that this paragraph's phrased is throwing a little things off. She did not make any mention of they needed man's help or anything like that to do it. She was just pointing out that the directors needed to also appeal to men. And Millie Alcock is going after specific groups of men. Well, she kind of goes after the entire fucking sex or gender, depending on how you want to word it. And then she starts going after specifics like Christians and etc., so on and so forth. So, yeah, no, like this is a rare Grace W. I do not like Grace, obviously, but this whole interview I was watching, I was like, oh my God, I'm agreeing with Grace a lot.
Yeah.
Technically, it's
pretty
not an
crazy.
interview. She just talked about this on stream by herself.
Oh, yeah, whatever. Got it. Sure.
But yeah, just how the sentence is written.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's it. The wording is not very, very good. Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, so of course it's correct. I mean, if you're a based any female whatever director, you should make sure that this movie is just a great movie. So
Yeah,
if it's a
that
great
is
movie, it's
for
gonna appeal to
everybody.
everybody.
That's
Just
for
don't
everybody,
make
indeed.
it a girly Barbie movie for no reason.
Yeah.
That's not the character anyway. Okay.
Also, there
So
are women who didn't like the Barbie movie, so
I
The
mean,
next two statements
didn't
she
like
made
it.
are really like on point. She
yeah,
literally says, this whole like her wearing the fucking the baking outfit or whatever, the tinfoil may connect with women and LGBTQ fans, but does not feel connecting with the core audience for this movie. And then she followed up with, worth noting is that every female-led superhero film has had a male-dominated audience, with most
Hmm.
female moviegoers skipping them, which I thought was a fantastic point. She's 100% right.
Yeah.
And ugly fucking Millie Alcock ain't gonna be filling seats with fucking dudes.
yeah.
No, she really won't, yeah.
Mm.
And not with the things that she says, not with what we see now from Supergirl and things like that. I mean, Supergirl could have been an interesting movie, just not in this direction.
Yeah, now it's completely ruined. But yeah, Tsunami, anything else actually you want to highlight from this?
I do.
Mm-hmm.
One of the biggest things that you've seen is I think that people over there are freaking out. And the reason why, as it's been pointed out, I watched the video by Disbrew, shout out Disbrew, and a couple other people. The marketing has changed completely from her fucking looking like a sloppy ass drunk wearing fucking whatever clothes to suddenly all the marketing is her in a skirt, her flying around, her acting fucking heroic and shit, her with pictures of Superman, with Lobo. So they're trying to turn this ship around, and I think they're way too fucking late. I'm hope this fucking movie burns and all these motherfuckers get fucking ruined over it just to teach the lesson completely because they had an opportunity to go ahead and fix this, and instead, Peter Safran, you fucking retard, decided to go ahead and back her up and be like, "Yeah, you're totally pissing off the right people. Good for you." Okay, retard, we're paying attention to you.
Yeah,
Indeed, yeah.
why would he do that?
Why
He's
would
so
he do that?
dumb.
Yeah, I thought that those people understood business and how it works, but apparently not.
Yeah, apparently not.
Also, yeah, what Tsunami said now reminds me. Do you remember how in the last trailer they put the moment in which Superman gives her the suit?
Yeah.
That's all that we see. Ah, the suit will be there. The suit will be probably in the last 5 minutes or
But
something.
they fucked themselves already because this is a prequel.
Mm.
And what do we see in Superman, James Gunn's Superman? When do we see Supergirl? She's still a drunken mess. She's
Yeah.
just wearing the uniform now.
Exactly.
Yeah. And also, there is a shot where she kicks a guy in the face, and this is absolutely the same as Superman, in the Superman movie, punching a guy in the face.
Yeah.
The difference is that she's kicking him, but the shot is like the same angle, it's the same style with the slow motion. It's absolutely 1-to-1.
Mm.
And again, how is she kicking somebody in the face when she's Supergirl, probably
I
with
have
her
no idea.
full power, and they are not bursting into a big blob of a bloody mess? I don't know.
Yeah, Superman
How is
hit,
even Superman punching a
that guy,
guy
yeah.
and nothing happens, but his tooth is knocked out? Anybody can knock out anybody else's teeth in
Yeah.
real life, like normal human strength. What is happening? Okay. Okay, anything else today?
Crash and burn. That's what I'm hoping for. Fingers crossed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we need to. I mean, this movie needs to flop so the studios
So that they
started
actually
learning
learned,
something.
Yeah, I mean,
Just like the Odyssey needs to flop.
Yeah.
So
about time.
stuck up big directors like Nolan can also learn that even he can fail. And I'm pretty sure it's something like that will happen because this just becomes bigger and bigger, that scandal over there. Okay, let's see the second story. But let's know what you think in the comments about this particular one. Finally, Grace Randolph said something smart.
Finally, indeed, yeah. I mean, and we agree with her.
That
Imagine
makes
that.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually makes sense. Okay, next. So Supergirl box office tracking points to worst case scenario. So Tsunami, take it away.
You want me to read the whole thing or just highlight?
Highlights.
All right. So this is Cosmic Book News again. Obviously, they're talking about the box office totals, and the numbers are fucking beautiful. Right now, the estimates are currently tracking on the low end only 47 million and up to the highest being 65 million. So the movie, let's see, where is it? I think it's 170. There it is. It's the movie cost 170 million. That's what they're reporting, at least, just to make. That does not include marketing and all the other bullshit that's normally associated with this. The basic rule of thumb for any fucking random person that's out there is like, I don't understand these fucking numbers, is whatever the cost was to make the movie times 2.5. So that means that this movie needs to make somewhere around the fucking 450 uh 450 million to go ahead and even be considered a success. This movie's gonna fucking crash and burn because it is couched in between Toy Story 5 opening up the week beforehand, and I don't know what the fuck Minions and Monsters is, but there's another movie right around that. Let's not go ahead and forget that Masters of the Universe is fucking flying around out here, and gas is fucking like ridiculously high on top of a bunch of other fucking things. Just what a guy wants to go ahead and do. Get talk shit to. Oh, hey, Christian Data 4. Hey, I'm Christian Data 4. It's Saturday. What am I going to do with my fucking kids? Take it to see this fucking stuck up Australian bitch fucking tell me what an asshole I am and spend fucking over $50? Or am I going to go watch Woody and the gang over there for their fifth fucking outing? So we can already see where that money's going to go. And absolutely, she fucking deserves it. I'm so fucking hoping that it's the low end and the fucking just there's a media firestorm and it's just nonstop hatred and it all goes back to this retard opening her mouth, her fucking publicist and her agent not being like shut the fuck up, and Peter Safran not backing her up publicly.
Yay.
Yeah. I do hope also that because He-Man will open some days before that, or I think it's a week or two before that. I do hope that it will be great, and people keep watching it until Supergirl comes out, so that people again say, "No, I prefer to watch He-Man again."
There's a video out about Masters of the Universe. Emergency Awesome has seen it. I started watching it, but then obviously I had to do homework for this fucking stream. From what I've seen, though, he was kind of hyping it up. Now, he's not necessarily the best source
Yeah, he's always
He's
do
in
that.
always
total,
hyping it
but
up.
yeah, like I got it. Like he's a hyper. From the stuff that he was saying, though, it looked kind of cool, and he was allaying some of the fears that are out there about some stuff that we've worried about. So I don't know. I'm super hyped about fucking Masters of the Universe. And what I'm not gonna watch this fucking movie, Supergirl. I'm gonna watch YouTubers make shit tons of money on the side talking shit about this movie. That's what I'm fucking
Yeah.
gonna do. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. So I just to highlight this, I just voted. Which
Mhm.
Supergirl version do you prefer? Melissa Benoist, 31%. So yeah, I mean, she was at least true to the character at the beginning.
Absolutely, yeah. That's what. Okay, if she's not going to watch Wonder Woman, then she should have at least watched that show, at least the
Mhm.
first season, so that she actually learns what to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really hope that this will fail, so that they really learn, because those numbers speak, and I want to see how people again will tell us, well, but the domestically did more, and it's not going to do even domestically more.
That is a homeless homeless person.
That's a hobo. It's not a lobo.
Yeah, it's a
That's a
hobo.
Yeah,
It's a freaking hobo,
freaking
man.
hobo.
Okay. Okay, so June 26th, that is this month.
Yeah.
So we have 25 days. And still we have to go and see it and review it for you guys. Oh my
Yeah.
god. I'm not really
So
thrilled
that
about
you
that.
don't have to. We're going to see it so that you
So that yeah, so that really you don't have to. So this movie can really lose 200 million. Now, I just wanna say one last point. I think that
Supergirl.
what the
What?
hell?
Sorry, Ivan said it in the chat, and I have to go along with it. He did the Kino Casino. Suffer, Supergirl. Well timed,
Yeah.
sir. Well timed.
Yeah, well done. We're gonna pay attention to the chat, by the way, in a little bit, just to say hi, because when we do all of those news streams, we can't really address the chat much, guys, but we see you there. So I just want to say,
I saw a funny comment. Sorry.
okay, okay. So just appeal to everybody that think that they're super girl fans. Isn't it more important to bring justice to the character and actually take the character like they are in the comic books and bring that to the big screen? And number one, this includes being heroic and inspiring. That is what superheroes were created for in the first place, to inspire people and bring escapism to a very harsh world at the time that they were created. That was the whole idea of having superheroes, actually. And they were
Yeah.
inspired, of course, by Greek mythology, Hercules, and so on. So, isn't that more important? Why should we stand behind a new direction that does not do justice to the character? Obviously, by the looks of all the trailers that we see so far, that presents Supergirl in a very bad light, and that promotes what the actress is saying. Merely, oh, cock, that girls it's okay to be messy and in a bad state and bad behavior. Bad behavior basically is celebrated.
Yeah.
Why we are siding with the actor? Why we are siding with the studio? The studios and the actors are there to bring us a real representation of the characters, how they were in the comic books, how they always were, their default image. That is their absolute obligation towards that property, those characters, to us as fans, as the public, who actually give them money, without which they would not exist. So why are you, if you're defending this movie, or merely Alcock, even defending this if all the other facts speak of how horrible this representation of the character is and this direction is? This doesn't make any sense. If
Yeah.
you're a real fan, you should stand by the character, stand by the source material. That is most important. You shouldn't defend the actor who is obligated, again, obligated to do justice to that character, or the studio, or the director, or James Gunn, who is supposed to be most responsible
Yeah.
for how everything is represented. Think about that,
Yeah.
because we will never stand behind Zack Snyder, for example, if he screws things up and does not represent the character to such an extent that he does not give them respect. He did give the characters respect. He did make them heroic despite the darker direction that the movies went into, but he was trying to tell a bigger story. There's nuance there, that there is layers there, and there is not a deconstruction of those characters. They were just put in a world that is deconstructed. So we can think a little bit about how these characters will react in different situations in certain periods of their life, which is interesting and it's thought-provoking. It's just a higher level, and it's a bit better than having to see those characters being broken down and beaten up, just like Superman was in 2025's movie, just like Supergirl now is. And definitely what Zack did is better than what we see here, which is animal abuse, using crypto for freaking MacGuffin or whatever.
Victim or MacGuffin, yeah.
Yeah, basically the plot device. He has to be the victim and main reason for Superman to do anything in the first movie. He has to be the victim and main reason for Supergirl to do anything in this movie. How is that okay to use him as this victim for 2 consecutive movies to push the freaking stupid plot? That's not heroic. That's pretty bad. And nobody wants to see this. In the screen tests for Superman, people walked out and people were absolutely disgusted because there were more scenes with Crypto in which he was abused and further tortured in the movie. Similar thing happened with the screenings for Supergirl. All the screenings bombed. They had to change so many things about the movie to make it watchable. And those reports have been coming for months for Supergirl. Same thing again with Superman.
Yeah, I'm sure that this would have happened to screenings of He-Man if you show how Battle Cat suffers. Cringer, the tiger. But nobody said anything about that, so things like that won't happen there. But if you show things like that, of course, that it will suffer. And
You mean
again,
the movie will suffer?
the movie will suffer. Yes. What again I want to say is the Empress pointed out, guys, if you love the characters, do not be okay with the statement, well, this is just another different version. Don't you want to see it? No, I want to see the character that it should be. I don't care about, absolute Batman and things like that. Those things are shit. Because it's not the character. It's fun for, outworld, Elseworld, something like that. But in the movies, you should present the characters that it should be. Do not side with the director just because it's his vision and anything else like that.
His vision should be the comic book vision.
It should be that, yes, when we actually saw how it could have been done right. And for the people again who will say about the deconstruction world of Man of Steel, read Man of Steel, the comic book, the John Byrne one from 1986. It's again Superman put in a deconstructed world in 1986.
But it's still Superman.
But it's still Superman.
He's heroic,
but it's
he's
still
strong,
Superman.
he's masculine,
Yes.
he's all the things.
Yes, and that's actually a canon story from that period time, as we say, not the hypno glasses and stuff like that.
That are not canon.
Just present the character as they should be. I wouldn't mind, seeing how Kara goes to different planets to have adventures, but present her as Supergirl. As Supergirl. Okay, let Krypto be next to her. Krypto doesn't need to suffer for those things. That people will say, but that's accurate to the story of the Woman of Tomorrow comic book. And that's the problem again. Because they're doing the same thing there. Krypto is the MacGuffin.
Two times in a row.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Okay, Tsunami, finishing words about this topic. We just needed to get that out of our system.
That's fine. I think you guys brought up great points. Going back to Zack Snyder, everyone seems to like Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill is this fucking lantern-jawed, fucking super badass. You're even saying it as you're describing it about how he's muscular and everything else. Again, a superhero is supposed to be like an idealized version of what a person can be. Something they should aspire to, even if they'll never reach it. They work for that. Why does Millie Alcock literally, like, her hair is shit. She looks smelly. She's fucking drunk, which I think is cool. But I mean, like, she's like whining and crying and gross. Like, who the fuck wants to go watch a depressed chick? Like, for like an hour and a half. That's fucking nuts. Most people are going to the movie theaters to get away from a depressed chick that they know that's like that. And instead of, they should have absolutely made her, men look at her and they're like, sex symbol. Women look at her and they're like, wow, that's something I should aspire to be. And both fucking sexes should be like, that was a really like inspirational character. And I also find her sexy, or I also find her inspirational, or maybe even combinations of the two. This is so dumb. And I 100% agree with what I heard earlier. I guarantee you she's only going to be in that fucking, the actual Supergirl outfit at the end of the movie for like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
That's what we said.
It will be exactly that. I'm kind of sure of it,
Yes.
Yeah. And it will be given by Superman, and probably his mom would have made that suit. And as it was said in one of our comments, which was great, then she sucks at making suits.
Yes. Also, he was shown from the top part up, which is one of the worst ways to show any figure, let alone superhero physique, because he looks like a square. It's horrible. Okay, let's know what you think in the comments about this topic, guys. And now, Tsunami, my idea is to just say hi to everybody. We don't have time to read particular comments unless they're highlighted. Guys, if you want us to read your comment because it's a very tight news stream, you can always send a super chat if you want. We don't want to make it. If you want to support the channel, this is one way to have your comment highlighted, and of course we can read it. So let's just acknowledge everybody that came from both chats, and then we just continue forward.
Okay, over there on the Superhero Truth channel, we've got Euler Greg in the house, the real Charlie Cox. Welcome. I've never seen you before. If you've been here before, I haven't seen you, so hello and welcome. We got, where are you at? Fantasy Productions, also welcome. I've never seen you before. Welcome to the chat. New stream once a week. Gaming streams 2 times a day for the most part. And sometimes some other weird topics here and there. Anywho's, we got Suka in the house. What's up? I don't think I said anything about you before. Ghost in the house. Ghost Pet Shop.
Hey,
Fantastic content creator, guys. And that's it for the Superhero channel. Over here on the gaming channel, we've got, of course, Magatits, Mr. Rouge, the fucking goat. Kano's in the house, Barry Stroud. Joey's in the house in both fucking places. Nice to see you, Joey.
Nice.
Saravana's here also. And St. Hugo. Randall's here. Nice to see you again, Randall. La Raza for Trump. Yo, we got Tebow people in the house. And then, oh my God, Ivan Alvino with the fucking bass drop of soft Supergirl. That one actually broke me, dude. That was so good. I think I got everyone. If I missed you in chat, I apologize. I'm not wearing my glasses.
Awesome. Is that
Awesome,
all?
guys. Yeah, welcome.
I also went through the chat.
Mm-hmm.
I think. Oh, and you missed that. We missed Super.
Oh yeah.
Yes. So yes, to thank you so much for the membership again.
First. Welcome to the sidekick.
Welcome to the sidekick with the Green Lantern icon. Thank you so much for the 250
Thank you.
super chat on the superhero channel. He says hopefully that would start the channel month on a good note. Thank you so much for that. Wonder Woman.
Sorry, Yasto.
Yes.
There's all kind of audibles being done tonight, and I'm not used to it.
Yes, we're doing things a bit differently.
We're trying
today.
something different.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
a lot different.
Yeah. So Wonder Woman salute 2 times for Yasto. Yeah.
And he's using the icons for the superheroes. Nice.
Yeah, that's just so cool. So yeah, Yasto, we saw you pop up there. But yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. So we now continue to the gaming section. So we have pretty awesome news that are super significant for the bottom line of gaming in general and for preservation of games. Preservation, sorry.
Preservation? What?
What? Yeah. Preservation of gaming. So we have awesome news for preservation of gaming. So Stop Killing Games is a movement, if you don't know, guys, that started recently. Yeah, rather recently. And
when Ubisoft ended support for the crew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when Ubisoft ended support for the crew, which was pretty horrible because if you bought the crew, you can no longer play it. And that just made a great point that companies can take away our games that we paid for on a whim, and they do not have to answer to us at all, although we paid for that. So this is amazing, and this is very major. So Tsunami, I leave it to you.
So Stop Killing Games movement started. Ubisoft again, you retards, went ahead and fucking ended a game called The Crew, and fans had enough. So they started freaking out about it, and this movement called Stop Killing Games came up. Amazingly, of all fucking places, the epicenter or fucking I guess the epicenter of this is in California of all places, which isn't really a good thing. However, it seems to have fucking picked up some traction, and at the very least has passed the House. So if you're a worldwide person, you're not in the United States. The way our government works on the basic level is our lowest level of like Congress, aka government, that actually passes laws is called the House. That's done on the federal level and on a state level. Each state has its own thing. You would think of it as like a province or whatever the hell you guys call it everywhere else in the world. So in that province, you get representatives, and that's the House. So this movement to go ahead and protect our games act bill has passed the House, which is the first of 3 major steps, if you want to think of it that way, until it's put in a law. And there's more of a very important reason if it gets put in a law, which I'll cover in just a second. Anywho's, the next up from the House is called the Senate. Senators are like the big next up level, if you want to think of it that way, worldwide. And they all make a decision: are we going to go ahead and put this thing in a fucking law? Once that's done, the last person that can go ahead and make a change to that is the governor. I think you guys were talking about mayors, or you guys had a different name for it. We were talking about this yesterday in your provinces and whatnot throughout the world. If that ends up happening and the governor has the ability to either approve or what's called vetoing, which will basically stop the act, at least for a little bit. If 2/3 of the Senate still votes for it anyway, they can bypass what the governor says, and it will become law. Why this is more important? For one thing, California is fucking ginormous. It is a huge state, It's a bunch of fucking freak lefties too. However, they have a massive economy over there, at least they used to. The whole point of this being so fucking important is once a law gets passed, as it's gone through all these many like trials, that means that you've now set precedent for fucking laws countrywide. That means someone in California, this gets passed. I live in Arkansas. Arkansas decides they want to go ahead and fuck with things. The lawyers could go ahead and immediately start arguing and use this case as precedent for it. So once something manages to get to the high level and gets passed, it is able to be used throughout the rest of the land. Ultimately, it can end up in state supreme courts, which is the highest judicial branch. And if it goes up any higher than that and it starts to be a thing, it can go all the way up to the federal Supreme Court. So this thing got traction, which is fine. There's been plenty of movements where people are like, okay, great, whatever. However, it has now passed a major legal hurdle by passing the House, and we need to go ahead and see which direction this is going to end up going. So for now, fingers crossed. But there's a lot of promise for this.
Yeah. Yeah, this
It
is
does sound
amazing.
promising, yeah.
I don't know. I had a feeling about this when everything started. I don't know why. I just did. I'm pretty sure things are gonna change. I mean, in my intuition or whatever you want to call it, that is usually correct. I think that this is going to do the changes that we really want.
Yeah, it really needs to have that win, because and that's a stupid practice. They're killing the games like that, really. As consumers,
You guys are in
should
more
defend it.
trouble.
You what?
So you guys are in more trouble. Europe
Mm.
specifically. So apparently this has already gone. I don't know shit about fucking Europe or pretty much anywhere else. I only know the bare bones minimum. However, there's already been a push in Europe for a similar bill, and immediately it met with instant resistance.
Mm.
So you guys in Europe are on a much higher uphill climb than we are. The fact that California, one of the most liberal, shittiest places on the fucking planet, has already gone ahead and started this is a really great sign for Americans. However, in Europe, you guys have a whole different kind of mountain to fucking deal with.
Yeah, we'll see that members of the European Parliament openly supported the movement while others criticized it. Yeah, I know, but I still think that's gonna pass.
I wonder why in Europe would be really harder to do that. I mean, can people see that this is stupid practice? They just
Because they don't
not
care
having the
about
game
games,
there.
they care about money. As much as they fucking want to bitch about being, we're democratic socialists, look at us. We've got fucking healthcare for fucking everyone.
Yep.
Shut the fuck up, idiots. You guys steal everyone's fucking tax money, and then you end up fucking coming with these programs for trash games like fucking Relooted and the Lesbian Night Game and like shit like that. And that's what they do with your fucking tax money. And this automatically goes ahead and gets in the way. Remember, Ubisoft was the fucking breaking point for this. That there being France. Anywho's, this goes ahead and gets in the way of fucking people's fucking money because it's going to cost them a lot of money for them to have lots such things like live service games where they want to go ahead and fucking kill it at the fucking drop of the hat. And now, if for this particular bill that's going on in America, they're like, no, you can't do that. If someone paid fucking money, you have to come up with some way that they can continue to play it, even if you want to ditch this. That means you allow fans who have created like rooms or whatnot to go ahead and do that. You have to have some kind of offline version of it, etc. And that's going to cost a lot of fucking money. And that's why there's so much fucking resentment going on over there in Europe. I mean, it's the same thing in America, but at the very least, we've kind of taken like 2 steps forwards than you guys have.
Yeah, at least this time, yeah.
Okay, a quick point. The European publisher group Video Games Europe is one of the groups that has spoken against the movements, claiming that live service games would become prohibitively expensive to develop if the laws if the laws the movement
Mm-hmm.
sorry if the laws the movement is asking for were enacted. Uh, yeah, okay. Well, I think that the Stop Killing Games movement, it's very clear on that because the games should be just left to be playable.
Mm.
And if they cannot support the servers, they should let fans have their own servers.
Yeah.
So basically, they're just letting go of the game because they're not going to use it anymore. And fans are going to take it from there. So technically, they shouldn't invest anything in that. That's not the point for them to invest. It's the point to let go so fans can take responsibility for the game. Because otherwise, the game is just going to be dead.
Yeah.
And here it comes, the more than 20 years now. I think maybe it's about even 30 years almost, or 26 years since the whole pirate thing existed.
Mm.
Because, oh my gosh. Sorry, guys, there's a spider.
Pirating bad.
There is a spider like Spider-Man, just like, what the hell? Where did it go?
Yeah, it jumped over there.
Okay,
Mm.
we gotta kill it. So pirating games, although a lot of course, the companies are against pirating, but that's the only thing that kept most games alive
Yeah.
for the past 20-something years. So there you go. That's one thing. There's still games that can only be founded because they were recorded and pirated.
Yeah, indeed.
That's a
emulated.
fact.
And,
Or emulated. So people are doing their best to preserve games, and studios are not actually losing any money on that, technically.
Technically, yeah.
Especially when it comes to old games, because they're no longer even selling them. There's many games that disappeared on Steam,
Mm.
which I discovered when I started researching the Stop Killing Games initiative, at the beginning. It turns out that many games cannot be played on Steam, they just disappear. So that's not good. Even single player games have been pulled
Mhm. Yeah.
officially. For example, we could not find the Punisher game.
No.
We could not find it officially. We could only find a copy
Mhm.
of the game because people made that copy somewhere. So
And,
technically, that's game preservation. It's not just like piracy.
If you decide to try and buy that game on eBay or something like that, I'm sure it's going to be tons and tons of money because you can't find it anywhere
Piracy
else.
bad,
Yes,
of course.
of course,
Piracy
piracy.
bad.
Of course, piracy
course.
bad.
Of course,
Of
yes.
course, piracy bad. Okay, but the point is that there's something that piracy did that is better than what studios did. That's just the fact. It
Yeah.
does work for
Going
game
on with what
preservation.
you're saying, though, one of the most important things in this entire article is sure, we can let fans do their own thing. Sure, you should have your own offline version, but one of the ones that's also included was pay people back if out of nowhere you cut their game off.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that was the point where they fucking freaked and they were like, what? No, no. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Yes, you will have to fucking pay. And that's when they probably went ahead and were like, "Rah," and freaked the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, indeed. If you're not going to let them have the game, as the Empress said, the fans should have the service because they already paid for that game, just to give the money back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah, I mean, people will not have to resort to things like preserving the games themselves.
Yeah.
The company did
Yeah.
it. This creates the need to people to actually go and pirate the game as well, so that it can be preserved. That's another
exactly.
point.
If the studio actually take care of the preservation and doing occasional remaster or something.
Yeah,
like
there was a system for that in
Yeah.
place years ago. We would just use that and be calm for our games that they're preserved. But no, that was never done.
Yeah.
And this is where people come in and they do things like that so games can be preserved, which again means that people care a lot more about games than the companies that make them.
Yeah.
And that's
Indeed.
just sad. Finishing words, Tsunami.
Nothing really, other than I'm 100% behind this. I'm not like a major gamer. I love games. I've loved them my entire life. I'm happy that people are finally like fed up with this kind of shit and they're fighting against things like the digital rights management. Where hey, you just need to sign in so we can update your game. Like, why couldn't you have just released your game fucking correctly the first time? Why can't you have like I should be able to play this game offline or online, whichever one. Have a campaign or something like that. Maybe it's going to be trash afterwards. It doesn't matter. I spent money on it, and now you owe me. So the whole fact that there's a little bit of people are looking for some justice, I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, finally.
Exactly.
We need some justice, some objectivity in this world.
Mhm.
Okay, so let's know what you think in the comments, guys. Do you support Stop Killing Games movement? And I don't see why you shouldn't, because this is all about the consumer, the preservation
Exactly.
of gaming, a bit of it of responsibility on the gaming studios. And as Ross explained, who is, of course, the founder of Stop Killing Games, this will not actually affect the studios in a bad way. There's some positives for them too. It's just that they don't, they want to misrepresent it, and even if they have to pay people back, then it's their fault that they don't have some systems in place that they should have thought about. And if it's so expensive to set the systems, well, that was also debunked before.
Yeah,
There's
that was
some
also
studios
explained.
that actually did try to do that. Grok, for example, is one service that tries to preserve games. Hey, what do you think about Grok, Tsunami?
What do I think about what?
About Grok.
The AI from Twitter?
Did I?
Gog.
Gok.
Gog.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Gok.
Yes.
Gok.
I was thinking also, wait, Grok
Sorry,
is there
Gok.
something?
Sorry, Gok.
Gog.
Yeah, so I meant that GOG is one of those services that are working towards also preserving games, and they don't include the DRMs in their games. So yeah, what do you think about GOG, Tsunami?
I don't have comments because I kept hearing you say something else that was phallic. Like anyway, I won't say anymore. No, I have no comments.
All right.
All right. Well, Gog is a good thing.
GOG
I
is
swear you said, yeah. You guys keep saying it, and it's like, what are you saying?
GOG.
That
GOG,
accent's-
Gog.
Oh,
Gog.
okay. GOG,
Yeah.
not GOG, because it sounds like you guys are saying GOG.
It's not media
And I'm
all
like,
Gog.
It's
What-
GOG.
what the fuck are they
Okay.
saying?
Okay. Let's go. Let's go. So let's know what you think in the comments. Now, a second very good news and most anticipated game. I mean, one of the most anticipated games of 2026 is Phantom Blade Zero. And now we get the news that it's more like Black Myth Wukong than it's Sekiro Shadow Die Twice. And I did play both games actually. I didn't finish Sekiro because it was a pain in my butt, especially this was way before I played Elden Ring, way before I played Black Myth Wukong. I have not been used to this style of gaming, so it was very difficult for me to the point where it was very frustrating, and I didn't understand those types of games at that time. So I did not vibe with Sekiro for sure. So to me, this comes as a very good news and a pretty good surprise that Phantom Blade Zero is more like Black Myth than is, than is freaking
Than
Sekiro.
Sekiro.
Now, Black Myth is a very difficult game, but it's made in such a way that is a bit more, you can say, understandable. So you technically have absolutely the incentive and the motivation to get better and to go through the bosses, and once you understand the bosses you just go through them eventually, which you can say about Sekiro maybe, but it's still not as a difficult game as Sekiro is. It's just that how it's made is just more compelling, at least to me, at least from my perspective. It's more compelling to learn and to want to get better, and it does not make you feel like this is a chore that you have to do. You actually invested in that because the way that the game feels and the whole system just makes you motivated. It's very hard to explain,
Yeah.
but this is just the case. Now, we did see many gameplay videos from Phantom Blade Zero months ago, and it did look like Black Myth even then, and it didn't look like that difficult. But again, this could be said. Actually, you know what? This could be said for Crimson Desert.
Yeah.
We watched how the boss fights. We watched the boss fights, and I did say this doesn't look very very difficult, and for the most part those boss fights are not difficult at all, especially when you compare them to Black Myth, and especially when you actually prepped like very well.
Yeah.
Crimson Desert gives you such a freedom to be super badass and to have different ways to go through the enemy, which actually Black Myth doesn't do that. It's very limited when it comes to that, to the healing, to whatever. In Crimson Desert you can heal like indefinitely if you want. You can craft Palmer pills, whatever. Anyway, so I was right about that. Black Crimson Desert.
Also, not to mention that the normal guys that you're fighting look, possible to beat from what we see in Phantom Blade Zero. Whereas in Sekiro, you struggle with the normal guys. That's what I hate.
Yeah,
Why do
struggle
you have
with
to struggle with
anybody.
the normal guys? Just the normal enemies there. So That's the thing. Whereas I didn't have that problem in Black Myth Wukong, or even in Kazan, if we have to compare with something.
Yeah,
Kazan is
Kazan also has
more
a difficulty
yeah.
setting.
Yeah.
So, Tsunami, take it away from here.
Summary or read?
Summary.
So basically, Phantom Blade Zero is coming out. It is part of the Usia. I had to look that up, chat. I did not know that offhand because it's spelled like Wuxia. Style of games, which is Chinese low fantasy uh RPGs, for lack of better terms. So the article went ahead and created the disparity between Black Myth Wukong and Sekiro. If you've played either of the games, you automatically know the difference. Sekiro being very notably, you do not have a lot of options. The game is not linear, but you're forced to go ahead and deal with things like the parry mechanic. The parry mechanic is incredible in Sekiro. You must master it, or you're just not going to move forwards in the game. And that caused lots of people to throw their fucking controllers or break their keyboards and everything else. Wukong obviously provided a lot more ways to adapt. You got different weapon types, you've got all the skill sets and everything else. Although Sekiro does have a skill tree with the like umbrella or whatever the fuck not, the trick arm, the go gadget fucking wiener or whatever the fuck, trick arm. Uh, it was still only like a minor advantage for a lot of the fights, and you just had to go ahead and honestly, uh, sorry to be like stereotypical, but get good. You had to get good at playing Sekiro, and that drove a lot of people crazy, which chased away a lot of the fan base, similar to the way Dark Souls did when it first came out. Sekiro just took it to a new level. Black Myth Wukong was widely acclaimed. Everyone loved it. Everyone loved the story. Everyone loved the combat. Or if they actually play games, they actually loved the combat. Everything about Black Myth Wukong was great. And it seems like Phantom Blade Zero is heading down the Wukong direction of things. Right off the bat, you're allowed to go ahead and choose from a wide variety of weapons, skills, and there's lots of other things. As she stated already, just from the like the trailer videos and whatnot, it doesn't look like it's going to be like this is going to take me 3 days to beat one boss type of fucking game. It looks like there's going to be ways for you to go ahead and improve yourself. Maybe you can go off and um, seek fucking other ways to go ahead and make yourself stronger, maybe through armor, through weapons, etc., so on and so forth. So this is definitely not following down the, oh my god, I'm taking a cheese grater to my private parts style of play that Sekiro happens to be. And there's going to be likely a lot more people that are going to feel warm to this type of gameplay, even though I think it's still going to be relatively difficult for a casual gamer.
We
Say
were
no Candy Crush.
we were stuck in a tiger on Black Myth Wukong for a few days.
Yeah,
That tiger
but
boss.
then we figured out that we can just get strong enough and beat him.
Yeah, we just didn't have the patience, so I was a masochist.
We, it was
That
fun,
was
funny
so
couple
funny.
of streams, as we say.
Yeah, we were like, now I'm gonna do it. Now I'm gonna do it, and you were like, no, give me the gamepad. I'm gonna do it. It's so funny,
we
and
did
nobody did it. And at the end, of
At
course,
the end, we did it.
yeah, we did it at the end.
But
so great.
this does look more approachable, actually, the Phantom Blade Zero.
Yeah.
Also it will have, I think it will have difficulty settings, which, if you ask me, is the way to go, because everyone should enjoy the game the way you want. I mean,
And
just
we
give
have a
difficulty
choice.
settings.
I don't see what is wrong with choices.
Yeah.
Just have a choice, set it to the way that you want, make it as hard as you want, just play it this way.
Exactly.
The game can be designed in both ways and give you both experiences if you wish, just like I want third person in the first person games, because so many games prove that you can have both adequately in the same time.
Exactly.
And you just switch with whatever you want. Like, for example, in freaking indie game, technically, Dated Grail.
Yeah.
It allows you to switch between first and third person, and I played the game. I played the game in third person the whole time, and Disgusting played the game the whole time in first person because that's how he prefers, and that's how I prefer. So two different players, two different preferences, experiencing the game through third or first, and we are happy.
Yeah.
We're both happy.
Exactly.
Here you go.
That's the way it should be. You want a harder, more challenging game, you choose hard or whatever, and things like that. I mean, I've played Devil May Cry 3 back in the days on Dante Must Die. I tried, because I beat it on normal, hard, and I said, okay, just to see how it is, Dante Must Die. I tried. I say, no, okay, I'll go back to the. I was okay with hard actually. So you can choose. That's what it should be. In Kazan, actually, there are difficulty options, but they're done in such a way that it actually keeps the difficulty of the bosses and the other guys. It just buffs you a bit, but it didn't help all that much, actually. But you still want to play. I think something like that could be the case in Phantom Blade Zero. I for one, I'm happy that it's going to be more like Black Myth, than Sekiro or freaking Wuchang, which we were stuck for. Yeah.
Yeah,
And we didn't
Wuchang
finish
is.
it actually.
Yeah, we didn't finish it.
Yeah.
Wuchang is a pain in the
A
ass in
pain in the butt. A
comparison.
pain in the butt.
It's just too much of a pain.
Yeah.
I don't like how I'm progressing. I don't like the system.
Yeah. The
just-
moment it
yeah.
gets like a chore, as the Empress said, then it's just not fun anymore.
Yeah. But as the Russian people say,
Mhm.
guys, на вкус и цвет товарищ нет, which means in taste and color, there are no friends. Basically,
Yes,
that's what it
yeah.
means. That everybody has is entitled to their own tastes,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
you can't really argue with that because everybody has their needs when it comes to whatever
Mm-hmm.
it is. So my need as a gamer is to have something like Black Myth Wukong, which I previously didn't even think that it's possible, but that's why I try so many games and I see this is for me, this is this is not, this is for me, this is not. Black Myth to me is a perfect balance between a very difficult game, but
Exactly.
also a game that is fair and it makes you want to be invested. It makes you want to discover those systems and explore them so you can use them for your own benefit. And I did beat the game like 3 times, which I never do with any other game. It was so enjoyable, and the fighting, to me at least, it was so impactful and so freaking enjoyable.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to find your own play style. Like do you do the staff? Do you do like the spear? Whatever. It's just interesting.
Yeah, the
you know,
armors were
it's
cool and
unique
everything.
how it was
how you're
made.
going to
I
do it.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
So yeah, Tsunami, I give it to you now.
I'm looking at a list of games that the Wuxia style of games is being classed in: Black Myth, Dynasty Warriors, Lost Soul Aside, Where Winds Meet, Wolong and Wuchang. So like the difficulty level is giant scaling bar. Just from those list of titles alone, I've delved in quite a few of these. I don't agree 100% on what you guys are saying. I love choices. I think that you should offer choices. However, I don't think an annoying fucking fan base should make you change your creative process from the get go. If you wanted to make a, for lack of a better term, Souls like difficulty, where it's like, hey, you play a game, like that's it. This is the difficulty. And people whine about it and cry and stomp their feet, and you just tell them to shut the fuck up. If you want to give that, that was your original intent, is that you wanted everyone to be able to experience in their own way, and by offering a difficulty slider, then that's fine if that was your original intent. The thing I don't like is in the past couple of years is people started including a scale modification because they got so much backlash. I'm obviously a pretty old guy. I've been gaming for a long time. I didn't get a chance to go ahead and change the settings on old Nintendo games that I played or old Genesis games, etc. It's like, you play it, this is the way it is. Suck it up, Buttercup. Like Ninja Gaiden, the original. Like, you either played the game or you didn't play the game. And people hated it and loved it at the same time. It's like that whole love-hate thing that I thought was really cool. Does every game need to be like Sekiro? No, absolutely not. I 100% agree with you guys. I just don't want to see developers, I should say, making changes to games because of a fucking loud minority that's on Twitter crying about the fact that they can't play fucking games. I'm thinking about you, Cuphead guy. You can't even pass the fucking tutorial.
I think okay, to finish this off,
Yeah.
I think there's two sides of this argument. I mean, one is yes, creative freedom, 100%. The creative vision of said studio, they should do whatever they want. Creativity should not be like put into borders or whatever. Of course, within reason. My brain just goes directly to some horror games that could be like out of any, I mean, out of taste or whatever. That's another topic. Never mind. The point is, yeah, creative freedom, great. But this creative freedom that totally should be there, this comes with this caveat that this will limit the audience to a certain extent, and that's okay financially. It will limit how much a game could make, but that is the decision that the studio has to make. So they have to be aware that if you don't put certain things in the game, this will limit the audience. So that's also like that. That's also a fact, and it's a fact that they should have creative decisions. So every decision comes with some kind of a consequence, whatever that is, positive, negative, whatever. Dark Souls games are not made for my taste, and that's
Not for
okay.
everybody, that's okay.
Like movies, they're not for everybody. So
You beat Elden Ring and the DLC, so don't let her fucking talk too much shit. She got good in her own way.
well, thank you. Thank you. I beat Elden Ring and the DLCs, but that was with your help, Toonami, so I can't give myself too much credit besides the fact that I was patient and I gave the game the chance and I finished both the DLC and the game, which is great for me. I wanted to have this experience, I did, and I have you to thank, so I can give you the credit, for that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Thank
I
you.
mean, you could if we go back to Nami, yes, to the past when Ninja Gaiden, oh my god, that game. I'm still angry that I never got to finish it because it's too hard. But now you can emulate it and have saves, so you could do that always. But I was happier as a child when I actually beat the first controller with the 30 lives. Sorry, I'm not hardcore enough for.
I too,
And you feel
was the
happy and
giant
fulfilled,
weeb.
right? You see the 3 lives
I
and just the
still
machine gun was ridiculous. Even as a child, you say,
That's too much, too
can we
difficult.
just.
but I love
Yeah.
think about how Contra did it though.
Mhm.
They hid it.
Yeah.
It was a hide. You had to read the magazine to learn what the code was, and then everyone was sharing it, and they drummed up this kind of hype around it. So I look back fondly on that. Guys, I beat Elden Ring, and I definitely used my mimic. I beat Contra, and I definitely had the 30 lives. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have exploits and things like that. It's similar to what Emperor said. Creative freedom.
Yeah.
If the intent was to go ahead and make the game very challenging, and someone wants to go through the pain of that, then they should. I was actually really bad at Dark Souls. I was already telling chat. I was very bad at Dark Souls. I'll tell the story very quickly because I know we have other shit to do. I got Dark Souls because everyone hyped it up. It was like a year later, and everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, it's the hardest game ever." I played it maybe an hour. I couldn't even get out of the fucking cemetery. I kept getting fucking murdered. I pulled the disc out, threw it in the corner, didn't look at it for 6 months. Finally, what required me, total pussy, I got it, fake gamer, everything else. I had to look up YouTube tutorial videos. Once I learned how to play Dark Souls, I loved it, and it's become probably my favorite game series ever. Like in like 47 years of being or 48 years of being alive now. So I like the fact that it posed me that kind of challenge, but I hated it at the time. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, of
Totally.
course,
Yeah.
of course.
Mhm.
So yeah, I mean, difficulty can be very motivating as well. So
Yeah.
everything has meaning, and me as a gamer, I would never go complain about anything
Oh,
of the sort. I would just wait for that game that is for me to be created, and that is exactly
yeah.
what happened with Black Myth. So I'm
If it's
happy.
not for you, you just say it's not
I'm
for
just
me, and
gonna
that's
wait.
it. Not
Yeah,
going to demand, okay, change now the game for me and
yeah,
my
I'm just
taste
gonna
and things
wait,
like that,
and
of course.
it's gonna
Yeah.
happen. So for me, the hopes for Phantom Blade Zero is that the game's gonna be good, engaging, exciting. It's gonna be difficult, but not difficult, so difficult that you don't want to go through it, at least from my perspective, and hopefully is as interesting and motivating as Black Myth Wukong to actually learn it and to
Yeah.
go through it. So yeah.
I don't know why in that list of games they actually show Last Soul side, which is more of a hack and slash.
Yeah, it's a very easy
Actually,
game, pretty
yeah.
much, in comparison.
What is he doing here anyway?
I don't know. So yeah, guys, that's all what you think in the comments. Do you wish for...
That's why Dynasty Warriors is here too.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
In Wuxia, they were. I apologize. I'm cutting you off. Go ahead.
so
Guys.
guys, let's know what you think in the comments. Do you think that the game developers should bend over the opinions of a small vocal group, or they should be free to create if someday your game, maybe the games for you is created with the difficulty that you like, maybe that is going to be worth waiting for. And of course, do you like actually to have options in those most difficult games to turn them into something more bearable to play, or you think that they shouldn't have any options about that at all? Okay, let's now finally go to the last topic in the highlight of the stream and the biggest news possible, which is Warhammer 40k 11th edition new cinematic trailer featuring the
Yay.
freaking Emperor of Mankind.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Hear it.
Okay, new cinematic trailer drops. Let's see the trailer, guys, and then we're going to check the article real quick. So let me see if you see it. I need to adjust. A little bit. Please be patient. Hold on. Yeah. Okay, that's good enough. And let's see freaking trailer of 11th edition.
It is the 41st millennium. For more than 100 centuries, the Emperor has sat immobile on the golden throne of Earth. He is the master of mankind in the war between gods. And master of 1,000,000 worlds by the might of his inexhaustible armies. He is the carrion lord of the Imperium, for whom 1,000 souls are sacrificed every day, so his may continue to burn. He is a rotting carcass, writhing with power, sustained by forbidden marvels from the dark age of technology. To be alive in such times is to be one amongst untold billions. It is to live in the cruelest and most bloody regime imaginable. These are the tales of those times. Forget the power of technology and science, for so much has been forgotten, never to be relearned. Forget the promise of progress and understanding. For in the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war. No peace amongst the stars. Only an eternity of carnage and slaughter. And the laughter of thirsting gods. But the universe is a big place, and whatever happens, you will not be missed.
Ooh, where?
Amazing,
Oh, that was pretty
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. When
It's grim and
when are we
dark.
going to see
It's dark and grim.
a full show like that?
I was thinking, I wish this was a freaking
A
video
show,
game
right?
as
A video
well,
game, yeah.
or show, or both. Like, why not? Why not
Why not
both?
both?
Yeah, this is one of the best trailers that GW has ever put out for any edition. It's amazing,
And they
focusing
always
on
put
the
effort in
Emperor.
those, but that's really the pinnacle now.
Yeah,
It's,
this is like the best. I mean,
Mhm.
everything that includes the Emperor, like there.
Yeah.
This is, I mean, the Emperor. Obviously, I'm the Empress of 40k, so the Emperor is like the best thing, most fascinating character for me.
He turned Italian now. Yes.
No, we didn't. So yeah, this for me is amazing. Tonight, we're going to go this almost shot by shot real quick. But what do you think in the meantime?
This is fan-fucking-tastic. You know, I wish I didn't know much about GW. Like at least their current iteration, because their trailers with the Yarick, the old man coming out, that fucking trailer, this trailer, the Horus trailer, they're so good. The animation's so good. I really want to see a show like this. It makes me more excited about like Henry Cavill. I also kind of want to kick him in the ass and be like, "Hurry up and let's fucking go." But that's a good thing. It means that I'm really like hyped up for this stuff. I love the little Easter eggs that are spread all throughout this. I am a I've been reading Warhammer for a long time as a lorist, like someone that knows lore, but I don't know all the lore that's in this. There's crazy amounts of stuff.
I mean, nobody
Easter egg
does. Nobody
wise.
actually does. You have to study to even make a video, like study a lot, to remember all the details and whatever it is, and to make sure that you have actually the correct interpretation of that, because the responsibility is still there to understand those things. So yeah, nobody is like a perfect lore person. Yeah.
Well, I think that actually made me more excited. So obviously I didn't want to sound like a complete retard on stream tonight. So I was looking through comments. I went ahead and, you know, kind of followed my way down the rabbit hole with this. And I didn't recognize that whole, what's the end line? Like, and nobody cares, or nobody cares if you died or whatever. I didn't know that was from fucking Rogue Trader, the first edition. I didn't know that that's what they used to say. I don't know a lot about Eldari, and they threw the god in there, the Harlequin gods in there. You get to see an image of it. Gork and Mork are in there. They made Slanesh look like a fucking Eldari, which I thought was crazy. It makes perfect sense if you know like a little bit of lore, and it's like, it looks so cool. I don't know. This stuff is like, yeah, they're saying it in chat too. It's very metal, bonerific. Like, I'm all fucking chubbed up. I try and forget like female custodies and things like that. Like, can I separate these worlds?
Yeah. So now I just want to say the cool thing is that it actually made you to go even deeper to the rabbit hole. So it did its job.
Yeah, it piqued
Yeah,
your interest.
I really love the fan discussion. Like, it's so cool to see people hyped up.
Yeah.
Some people are throwing shade at each other, no matter what. But I think that a lot more people are just back on the centralized theme of, what do you mean the Emperor's moving? Like, that's been the, like, people are like, what? Wait, what? Like, what's going on there? And that made me, like, really question, like, because last year they came out with the Terminus Decree, I think it's last year. And it's like, why did you spoil this fantastic mystery they did last year? Is this leading somewhere? Why are they showing all the gods that could be good or really dumb? I don't like how they're taking away the impact of people dying in this world, but I'm kind of curious to see which direction they're going with it. Like, I'm super excited.
Well, it's a grim dark universe, and
Yeah.
the emphasis is that you will not be missed because they have no
Right.
time. Yeah.
Is it really grimdark if everyone comes back alive?
Well, who though?
The lion? The fuck else? What have they done? They keep bringing people back.
It's not
Robute Gilliman?
still not common though. I mean, Rebute Gilliman was back like a long time ago, and he was put into stasis, so
he
he
wasn't
was
dead
not like fully
technically. Yeah.
dead. He just had to recover. I
Right.
mean, there should
All
be
the weight of the
some depth.
heresy is starting to go away, though, if they're going to do too much of it. And it's starting to feel like a bit of a cash grab. Now, I maintain that I started this whole thing by saying, like, I'm very excited, but it's also like, what's going on here? If there's no weight, then there's no weight. Because it's starting to feel, I saw a fan theory already. This is just the war of the gods, and all the gods are going to duke it out. So are there going to be lots of new things to look at? Maybe, but to me, my first reaction was like, "Oh my god, this is awesome!" And then the second thought was, "Wait a minute, why are they taking away the weight of like certain death? Like, is Ferris Manus going to come back? Are they just
Mm.
going to bring him back for reasons?" So that's kind of what I mean. Obviously, I'm being hyperbolic. So I'm wondering where they're going with this.
Well, as
And honestly, I hope they stick the landing. I really want to see something awesome out of this.
yeah, well, there is that thing where, of course, there is, the original fans that started before I was born, with Warhammer. And I started much more recently for the past like 6 years, going on 7. Now, my my perspective is that, of course, fans are always going to be in odds about certain things. Some criticism will be totally valid, like with the female custodies. There is that other factor where there should be some kind of a progression. If there's always complete dread and everybody are dying, there's not going to be any story because everybody's just going to die. Chaos gods are going to win. There's not going to be any war and conflict. And there has to be just a bit of a tiny little mystery and a glint of a hope, which is in the face of the Emperor coming back. So you still need to have something that is positive for the Imperium, I mean, from the Imperium's perspective. And that will include some Primarchs that didn't actually die, or their disappearance is a mystery. They could come back because that was never resolved. So we need to resolve this storyline eventually, whatever that is. And I like that personally because it makes for a very interesting story and you don't know what is going to happen. There are some rumors that, for example, Ribute Gilliman is going to come back because the only thing that has been found of him is his freaking fist. And that's it. His whole body is somewhere.
Wait, who?
Ribute Gilliman. So sorry.
Didn't he's here?
Oh my gosh.
What are you
Sorry.
saying? I'm like,
I
what are you
have too
talking
many.
about?
Yes, sorry. Rogo
Oh,
Dorn.
there.
Sorry.
Yep.
Rogo Dorn. Okay, I have to start this thing all over again. So, there are some rumors that Rogo Dorn may be back because his freaking fist is the only thing that's found from him, and his body is somewhere around the universe, we don't know where. So that's very interesting on its own. And he has such an interesting storyline that was developed in the Horus Heresy books, especially in the last few books. And if that is developed, we will see what's happening to him. I want to see what has happened to him. You know, how Ribute was left, Ribute Gilliman was left, and he was revived. He had to, that they needed a bit of a help from the Eldari. That was pretty interesting. I love that. I mean, I love these stories where Primarchs are getting to be heroes of the Imperium. And when you see the scales, negative versus positive things that are happening in 40k, like almost 90% is still negative. So they are keeping this not in a balance, but towards, being in a favor of the evil gods. So you feel the dread, and it's still a dark universe. But to me, it's very fascinating when there's, some of the Primarchs are back, and they're trying to do something. And it's interesting, like what are they going to do? They brought back the lion, and we're still waiting for like 3 years for him to meet with Gilliman and for them to have a conversation and see what we can do from here with the story. It's so freaking fascinating. If there were no Primarchs, to me, the fascination with the universe is just not gonna be the same. And as we said before, the Russian thing that I said before, the
Yeah.
Russian saying, and of course it's цвет товарищ нет, which means in taste and color there's no friends. We always going to see the universe through our own individual eyes. And I'm just telling you how I feel about it and what I want to see. So to me, there should be some kind of a positive thing to make people excited to see badass Imperium kick kick ass, and the Primarchs are like the most badass people there, and they cannot bring all of them back, and unless they say, well, the Emperor all of a sudden now is more powerful than even what we thought that he was becoming. So now even Ferris Manus is going to be back, but I don't know how they're going to do that. I don't think that they're going to do that because his head is cut off and his body is God knows where. He decayed throughout the 10,000 years that this happened. So I don't think that everybody is going to be back. I just think that some that disappeared and something interesting happened to them, like Corax, who is chasing Logar in the warp. There's so many loose ends. That's the point. There's so many loose ends going throughout the whole story, and that spreads throughout multiple books that tell different pathways of how things could go with the different Primarchs that are lost and alive, like lost or dead or whatever. Jagdai Khan is lost as well, like freaking your guy.
Rus?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Lyman
He's
Russ.
lost, yeah.
There's this spear of Lyman Russ that also Constantine Valdor has a spear like that. This is just so interesting what could happen there. So to me, following these stories and developing these stories are great. So I don't see it as what the heck's gonna happen? Everybody's gonna fucking come back. How is that good?
No,
No. They
it's
could make it very good and still be grim dark because again, the odds are not for the Imperium. It's still very freaking terrible. Like the Tyranids are freaking coming. The Orcs are going towards Terra last time I checked. So we need something.
Yeah, it's not like in comic books when everybody comes back after 2 to 3 years and there is really no threat and anything else. Here we have the constant threat, so
Yeah.
you kind of need the glimmer of hope.
Yeah, some a little bit, you know.
Yeah,
And
a
again,
little bit, yeah.
it's like been 3 years, going on 4th year. We're still waiting for the Lion to do something. I mean, he did something. The point is to meet with Gilliman and see what's going to happen there. And in the same time, there's sprinkles around in all of those lore books that the Emperor is doing something and he builds up his power. He brought actually Gilliman, he brought him back to life in one of the last books that were actually the Gilliman series of books, the Dark Imperium. He brought him to life, which means he's very, very powerful. And that's very interesting that he can do that, you know. So now we see thesis of what the Emperor is maybe doing. We know that he's struggling. We know that he wants to be back to some capacity. I think that we do know that. We see some representation of the gods here, which is pretty cool. I'm really happy that we see the warp and how that's presented finally. I mean, we see those things in the official animation slash a trailer. There's a lot of symbolism here. So I do hope that the idea is very grand. We have this author, what was his name? Jesus, I'm blanking on his name.
Dan Abnett.
Dan Abnett's book, which we were waiting for a long time. Such a long time that I forgot how it was called. Literally, I did. So that something is going to happen there that allegedly is connected to Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill's direction, because what he is doing is somehow connected to that. And, well, everything should be canon connected, yeah, but we don't know what exactly they're referring to, which is even more interesting. So there's layers upon layers of things that will keep our interest despite the other DI stuff that we have to deal with. So this is, to me, this is 40K. Like, this trailer is, like, fundamentally 40K. And what it could be in the future. Now, another point before we do have to end, by the way, very soon. We have no more time, but yeah. This is fascinating to me because for the first time ever, we see some kind of, again, official representation of the Golden Throne and how the Emperor is looking like officially on the Golden Throne on top of this pyramid. This is
It's not just artwork or anything like that. It's really official.
This is amazing.
In full motion.
Oh yeah, this pyramid, of course, the path to the Golden Throne was depicted in the Horus Heresy books. It's amazing. Yeah, I really love it. So I love that they are keeping with the official imagery. I love how they show the struggle. I just love that. So yeah, finishing words for you and Tsunami.
Tsunami, go.
The art, I love the art in this. Obviously, I added those extra images to show the Chaos Gods and whatnot. Gork and Mork from the Orcs. I did some more fucking perusing around. They actually show Eldari gods, which I'm not very familiar with. But they're all on the trailer, so frame by frame, or check on Twitter. There
Here
are
it is.
people that have managed to watch this thing.
Here it
We're...
is.
All right.
For so much has been forgotten.
I'm
Nurgle.
like 20 seconds behind you guys. I'm not sure what's going on here.
Yeah.
Notice that Nurgle has a human face, which I think is really funny. But Slanesh has an Eldari face. I thought that was really cool. That's Korn, obviously. Well, from what I'm looking at. Even on stream, like, we're live, but I'm looking at you guys 20 seconds behind.
I'm gonna,
just
I'm
think it's
gonna
really
give you
cool.
direct view. Just give me a sec. Direct view now. Okay, now you see everything. What I'm showing.
So obviously the red one's Korn.
Yeah.
That's Slanesh.
Jesus, that's ugly.
Yeah.
But
You
you
gotta
see how
love
it's
that.
the age decrepit Eldari? Which obviously ties into the lore completely, which I thought was like a... Once I thought about it, I was like, oh, I get it now. Obviously Zinch. You know, technical monster weirdness.
Yeah. Mess.
Confusing to the eye.
Nurgle.
And then, of course, Nurgle. But Nurgle has almost a human face, and you can see him, like, laughing. I thought immediately of Spawn, the Violator guy.
Indeed, yeah.
The same way that the Violator... Yeah, like, that's what I thought of. And then the other one I sent you was Gork and Mork.
Yeah.
That's something else. I had to look that one up. I did not know what that was.
Yeah, I can't tell.
So they think it's between three things now. Well, two things, really, like, strong things. The first one is that's Tyrannid hive mind. That's the actual hive mind that's up there in the warp and whatnot. There's another one. Someone found some obscure lore from I don't know. I don't know what this is. I'm not gonna pretend that I know. Like, oh yeah, I'm all well. No, I don't know what the fuck that shit was. There's Gork and Mork.
Mm-hmm.
And the really cool thing about this, as I was looking through it, they're actual images from the old codexes, which is super cool.
Oh, great. They went back. I'm not sure about the hive mind because hive mind's supposed to be against the warp. It's supposed to be outside of that.
Maybe it's something else.
Someone found some fucking nonsense where I'm like, I don't know. Like, I'm thinking of Starship Troopers, to be honest. Like, I'm that casual. And they were like, no, there's a psychic manifestation of the hive mind inside the warp, and this is a good representation of it. They also found another iteration of this that it could be a thing, but it doesn't really matter. The fact of the matter is, I'm curious. GW, what a fucking win. What a W. Like, I want to go search out shit that I don't care about. I don't give a flying fuck about the Tau. I think they're gay. I think that fucking Eldaris are just elf weirdo. They're also gay. And now, all of a sudden, I'm like, I want to know more. So this is such a great trailer for me as like an individual that gets interested if you can interest me. Dude, seeing the Titan from the guardsman's perspective, the trench, the Mechanicum, what are they called? Castellans, the robots and whatnot. I love this trailer. It's amazing.
Exactly, it shows what we talked about the lore and the miniatures. That's why here you have things from the lore, you can see them now represented, and you get more and more interested.
Yeah, they still need to push the lore to hype the miniatures because this is the 11th edition.
This is
You're supposed to buy the miniatures because of this.
Exactly, this is the combination that we talked about, that the two things should live
Did you
in
see what
parallel.
they're not showing?
What do you mean?
Aren't they showing in this?
Female custody?
There's no Sisters of Silence, there's
Yeah.
no Sisters of Battle, and there's no female custodies.
No.
What's going on here, GW? That's a weird trailer. Why wouldn't you go ahead and promote the thing that you've been trying to promote? And it really pisses me off, too, because, like, I want to see Sisters of Battle. Obviously, they're like a goon fantasy or whatever. I just think they're cool. Sisters of Violence are a major part of, like, Horus Heresy, at a minimum, if you want to put it that way. Obviously, they're more important for other reasons. Someone's got to bathe that nasty-looking Emperor. But, what? Where's the female custodians? I thought you guys were so proud of it.
Well,
There's a part of me, I guess I'm on my hopium train tonight, where I'm like, are they going to stay away from this shit for the 11th edition? Are they going to let this go and not talk about the shit anymore? I'm wondering.
Okay, I'm just waiting for puppies to stop barking so I can say my piece. I have to go immediately.
Or in the grim darkness of the far future.
They're still barking. Okay, so I think that female custodians are not here. God damn it. They gotta stop. So I think that female custodians are not here because they're not supposed to be here in general. Custodians are not supposed to be here. They're supposed to guard the emperor in the castle. And, you know, that's it. They're his bodyguards. Sometimes they go out and do things, but most of the time their sole purpose is to guard the emperor of mankind. And this is not where the emperor is right now. So we see the lore. Well, we see the battlefield somewhere else. So
You couldn't throw that in a montage? This is a montage. You couldn't throw that in there?
I mean, this is all about war and whatever. Maybe, yeah, maybe I guess. I mean,
they could have put
they
a small,
can put them like next to the throne or whatever.
Or like a
technically.
small,
The Siege of Terra is
small scene.
15 books. They showed the Throne of Terra and not a fucking single custodian around that.
Yeah, they
What's
just-
up with that?
They just decided to zoom out.
They could have put, you know, a quick scene of custodian taking off the helmet and then
Yes.
oh my god.
So
They-
why didn't they? I'm very curious about that.
Yeah, technically they could have.
They could have.
Ah,
Good thing they
that's fair.
didn't. I mean,
That's fair. That's fair. Okay, guys. So let's know what you think in the comments because this is super interesting.
Super
Let
indeed,
me
yeah.
just change.
Just
scenes.
what is the show? What is the show, I would say. Show,
Yeah,
the
we
game,
can't wait. We
and
can't wait
everything.
for the show. See what Henry was going to do. Super excited. We trust Henry. In Henry, we
And
trust.
let's see actually a show or again if it's going to be those I forget the word, you know, those episodes that are disconnected.
Mhm.
Anthology series. Can it be about that period?
Yeah, can it be?
Can we see those things?
I love to
Yes.
see the Emperor
Yeah.
in his prime too.
Mm.
So thank you so much, guys, for watching. Let us know what you think in the comments. Thank you to Maggot Tits for his sticker emoji
Yeah.
with the sunglasses for 0.99. Thank you so much. We appreciate it, and we see each other if everything's okay. We see each other this evening. If not, we're gonna see each other tomorrow because yesterday we couldn't stream. So James Bond, as soon as possible. One round salute to Maggot Dicks, to Maggot Tits. Maggot.
Oh boy.
What did I say?
Oh boy.
Oh,
I'm just
oh
tired.
my!
I cannot
just
pronounce
threw up in
things.
my
we'll give him
brain
we'll give him a
hearing
new
that. What
new
the fuck?
nickname now.
What did they say?
Maggot dicks. Anyway.
No, I didn't say that.
No,
Back
Come
to
on.
the
totally
cock.
said it. Tsunami?
Oh, you totally
Yeah.
said it.
Yeah. Well,
Lapses in the last minute.
Maggot Tits, I guess you have also a new nickname. I was going to say nickname too.
Welcome everyone, 40K Empress Channel, Gaming Empress Channel, Superhero Truth. We talk about dicks a lot. Cocks.
I'm crying. Okay, I'm
Yeah,
crying so much right now.
Anyway, I hope Maggot Tits is here too. Is he still here? Yeah.
Whether you've got a maggot dick or a horse wiener,
That will totally get you
um,
flagged, Maggot
you'll
Tits.
get
is
talked
here.
about here by Empress in some way, shape,
Sorry,
or form.
I'm in a hurry.
eventually.
We're super late, guys. I'm sorry. It's just
They're not blaming you for anything. Really.
yeah. I
Fun,
mean, I
so-
don't wanna. Yeah, I don't wanna do these lapses. They just happen. Okay, it's life. I am crying.
Goober Supreme.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay, tonight I'm just gonna stop the view. Don't have to see me crying up close. Okay, so thank you guys. Maggot Tits. Thank you. Thank you guys. Have a great day. Love ya. Until tomorrow. All your live streams. Empress lapsuses. Yeah, because I'm gonna cut that later.
Could be a whole video, you know, with
Oh, with lapsuses. Well, if somebody wants to
outtakes.
make that. Yeah, that's gonna be awesome.
Mm.
So thank you
There it
tonight.
is.
And see you later, guys.
The
Love
grower
you.
in the shower. Yep.
Okay. Bye, guys. Bye bye.
decay, Empress leads the way. As warriors of the imperium sway into realms where dangers play, where hidden minds hold sway. Through stars and storms we rise.